sooner or later, you're going to come across some gruesome stuff. So,
by the time darkness fell, swarms of other volunteers had gathered with those who had been there since late morning. Finally, the ironworkers appeared to be on the move. They were trucked to another staging area beneath the Brooklyn Bridge, and they began talking about the fine details of knowing when and how to cut a beam of twisted steel that could snap back like a spring.
If you cut a piece of steel here, okay, you might think that you're safe, but it's under such a strain from everything being twisted and pulled that it might, send you for a ride.
They were held in limbo again, willing to be there as long as it took. 5, then 6, then 7 hours they waited.
We're going to hang out as long as it takes. We built the Trade Center. We built, and we feel like it's a direct hit to us,
At 11:01, the journey in began, and the landscape changed. Through streets filled with dust and ash, past trucks waiting to haul away debris, exhausted police and firemen with dazed looks, into a nightmare set in another world that was named for the center of a nuclear blast, Ground Zero.
The buildings are gone, and that's what gets to you. When you make that one turn and you're actually starting to head uptown, the Trade Center's just not there anymore. It's just a facade is standing up, and everything was covered in white, and the soot was just blowing. You couldn't keep your eyes open.
Brushed by a wind that scattered dust and papers through the streets, they went to work. The high towers they had built were now represented by a jagged, angular facade with nothing beyond. One of the ironworkers, Bobby Benish, was in a group that reached a goal they had all sought. As they moved and dug, they found a woman who was alive.
It was a good feeling that we had, and everybody shared in that.
Did you even know her name?
No.
Don't matter.
Didn't matter.
Everyone here was in danger. But there is an electric fire in human nature, John Keats said, that continually results in the birth of heroism. Last night and today, and through the long days that will follow, a lot of ordinary people will make those words come true many times. Do you guys feel like heroes for what you did?
No, if we weren't down there, we wouldn't have been where we were supposed to be. That's where we were supposed to be. That's why we got to go back.
That's our reporter Bob Brown with a group of clearly very committed men who have such history with the World Trade Center. And now that we've recognized...
I asked him what happened. What was amazing about his story was that he was in the lobby of World Trade Center 1 when the first plane hit. And when the debris started coming down, he went back to go into the building to protect himself and was in the revolving doors going back in off West Street when he looked up and a fireball came flying out, I guess from the elevator shafts, that's what he seemed to believe, and blew out all the windows and threw him back onto the street.
These twin sisters, visiting from Alabama and Georgia, met in New York to share their 40th birthday. They were having coffee in the World Trade Center when the first plane struck.
And all of a sudden it sounded like, I don't know where the subway is, but it sounded like a subway collision, a bomb, and it was just pounding, boom, 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 and I literally thought the subway had exploded.
With the Trade Center towers now in ruins, and possibly thousands of people still in those ruins, it's a bad sign that so few survivors have been found today. CBS News medical correspondent Elizabeth Caledon has the latest on the casualties and the ER doctors waiting to treat them. Elizabeth, you've been out among the hospitals. Tell us what you found.
Well, Dan, as you know, every hospital in the region has been mobilized since early Tuesday morning to deal with hundreds and hundreds of casualties, injuries, and the wounded. But at this point in the game, it's becoming increasingly clear that many more will be found dead than alive.
Arthur Del Bianco is one of the lucky few, able to tell a tale of survival from a hospital bed.
All of a sudden, it was like bang, 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 like bullet shots. And then all of a sudden, 3 tremendous explosions. And everything started coming down.
Del Bianco was at work in the doomed trade towers when they were attacked.
The force just pushed us to the ground. We were pushed up against marble slabs and other people and glass and the smoke. We were buried in that stuff.
He made it out with a broken leg and today was reunited with his wife. But stories like his are rare. Hospitals, which have been standing by on high alert to treat scores of wounded, are not getting the numbers they anticipated. St. Vincent's Hospital has treated more than 400 so far. Dr. Anthony Gagliardi says it's just scratching the surface.
Most of what we've seen have been, in fact, the rescue effort workers and not necessarily the primary victims who were already in the building.
Many rescue workers have been crippled by respiratory problems caused by the thick layer of dust and ash blanketing the area. Doctors are also seeing burns, broken bones, and eye injuries. But for much of the day, empty stretchers and wheelchairs stood waiting, along with medical personnel eager to help.
It's actually been frustrating from the standpoint of the staff in that everyone has been assembled, a tremendous amount of specialties, really in an effort to try to help the victims, and we just haven't been getting as many victims as we want.
It's frustrating for survivors, too. Fire Lieutenant Robert Pesci was hit by falling debris and now has broken ribs. But he has bigger concerns.
I have personal friends that are missing. My old company, my old company where I used to work, the whole company's missing.
So many are missing, Dan. So few have been brought to area hospitals. One of the most heartbreaking things we have seen from this vantage point tonight is scores of people are coming to us, to the media, with the cameras, with photographs of their missing family members. They're making missing posters like you see on the milk cartons. A young man just came to us a few moments ago bringing a picture of his brother and I guess his wife or girlfriend. This is Michael Davidson, 5'10", 220 pounds. He was working on the 104th floor of the World Trade Towers. His brother came to us asking, with a desperate look in his eyes, if we could just give out information about him, as so many other people are doing, in the hope against hope that there will be some more survivors' tales to tell. Dan?
Elizabeth Caledon, live working the hospitals. Thanks. You may want to note...
I was about 5 blocks away when I heard explosions, 3 thuds, and turned around to see the building we just got out of. Antenna tip over and fall in on itself.
The past 2 days have brought out a range of emotions among many people. There is, of course, anger and grief, patriotism, just utter disbelief among many. Some people take the attacks personally. They say it wasn't just directed at a building.
I'm very angry. I'm very angry, and I'm very protective of my family and America. I mean, this is a great country, but you just have to go on. You just have to deal with it.
I was totally devastated. I felt like it happened to one of my family members, and it just really hurt me to my heart because it could have been anybody I knew.
Do you feel personally attacked by what happened?
Yeah, I do. I mean, this is our home, and this is our freedom. But when somebody comes in to violate it, yeah, things need to be done.
God bless America, and we need to strike back, and we will. What's happened is a disgrace.
I believe our whole democracy and our whole way of life was attacked yesterday. And
this was personal to you, wasn't it?
Yes, I take this very personal.
For others, there are no words.